everyone, it's CL and welcome back to another video. So for today's video, I wanted to talk about personality traits that will struggle with Poshmark or any other reselling platform. So the first thing that I have on my list is that if you are someone that has like no fashion sense, you will definitely struggle a little bit with Poshmark because Poshmark is definitely a reselling or clothing app. It focuses on clothing. Yes, they have a little bit of like accessories and a few different things here and there, but for the most part, 99% of it is clothing. So if you follow other YouTubers, other reselling YouTubers, you know, those who sell on the Poshmark platform, one of the things you hear over and over is that you need to buy things that are on trend. Now, if you're like me, and I will be one to admit that I have zero fashion sense whatsoever. To this day, I still wear men's t-shirts because I find them comfy. They fit my broad shoulders nicely. I'm someone without any fashion sense, and it's definitely harder. Like, you won't have those natural instincts of seeing something and immediately knowing, oh, that looks nice. Oh, this is something that a lot of people will want to buy. So even for myself, when I'm out sourcing at the thrift store, if I'm out there, everything girly looks nice to me because I was just not a girly girl growing up. I'll go ahead and give you a little bit of a story. So during one of my high school formal dances, you needed to wear like a formal dress. And I am someone that never wore dresses. I never wore skirts. I was very much a tomboy. And when it came time to buy this formal dress, I went to Chinatown and bought a like ball gown. It had a lot of tulle. It was pink. It was sparkly, and it cost probably like $10. It's Chinatown. Things are cheap there, and I thought it was the prettiest thing I have ever found. I put it on. I felt like a princess because all the tulle and it was all poofy, and I just didn't wear stuff like that. So in my mind, I thought it was the most beautiful dress in the world. Years later, I see pictures of me in this dress, and it is so horrifically ugly that I am so embarrassed that I wore this dress out in public, but at the time I had no cares in the world. But to give you an idea of like what this dress looked like, think of Kimmy Gibbler from Full House and like the dress that she would wear. That is probably the dress that I was wearing. Like, I have zero fashion sense. So when I'm out sourcing and I pick something up, I immediately will think like, oh, this looks really nice. It looks so beautiful, because everything to me that's girly, everything to me that's like girly or has sparkles, like for some reason I am obsessed with sequins. I think it's like the best thing ever. If you have no fashion sense, does that mean that you won't be successful? No, that does not mean that you won't be successful, but I think that you have an extra step of work that you're going to have to put more time in and research in knowing what's trending, what people want. Sorry, I had to step away briefly. All right, so the next personality trait where you will struggle with Poshmark is if you are disorganized. Now, when it comes to Poshmark, if you have like 1 to 15 items, it's not really a big deal. How organized you are, in the sense that it's just like 15 items. It's not that hard to keep track of. But if you want to make Poshmark like a viable business, something to supplement your income, something that you want to make full time one day, you're going to have like some sort of organization system, especially as you continue to source, as you continue to get more items to list on the platform. You're going to have piles and piles of clothes. And if you don't organize that, when someone makes a purchase, you're going to have trouble like finding where it is. You might mistakenly pick up something that looks similar to the item that was bought, but accidentally send it to the wrong person. And you definitely don't want to do that. That's definitely going to slow down your shipping speed. You can be in danger of getting a bad review if you send out the wrong item. So if you are someone who is not organized, you are going to struggle with Poshmark, because I can see you getting overwhelmed to the point of quitting. So if you are someone that is not organized, definitely check out those organizational videos on YouTube. There's plenty of people that have like an organization system of their own when it comes to their business and how they run their platform. In a future video, I'll show you my system that works for me. It's not going to work for everyone. It definitely works for me. If anything, it'll give you ideas of how I organize my things. Currently, today I have roughly about like 400 items. I know there are some people that are full-time that have like 8,000, 9,000 items. They have a whole warehouse of things. those people definitely have a very sophisticated organization system. If you're someone who's naturally very disorganized, you're going to struggle a little bit, and you might have to force yourself to follow some sort of system in the future, because in my opinion, when you start to have more and more items, it's just not realistic that you can just go off the fly and just pick things up off the pile and send it out to mail. It's going to be very, very hard to maintain that. Next item, if you are someone who gets very bored very quickly, or you don't do well when it comes to tedious tasks, you're going to find the Poshmark platform a struggle, because the Poshmark and how it's set up is really good, but at the same time, it's really, really tedious. Like, you have to do a lot of follows. You have to share your closet multiple times. If you have a lot of items, that's a lot of sharing. So when you first download the Poshmark app and are like trying it out for the very first time, you definitely have like a honeymoon stage, in the sense that you feel very excited about it. You have like an adrenaline rush when you get your follows, when you get your first sale. Everything on the app feels like it's easy, it's no big deal, you enjoy doing it. But come a few months down the line, 3 months, 4 months, think about these people that have done it for like 4 years, having to maintain those tedious tasks of sharing your closet constantly throughout the day, of making offers to likers, of liking and following other people to stay engaged in the algorithm, you know. Those things are going to become so tedious to the point where you're going to have days where you're just not going to want to do it. But if you don't do it, then you're not going to put your closet out there, and it's going to be lower on the search results, and you might not get as many sales as you could get. So if you're someone who gets bored and does not like tedious tasks, you will definitely find this app, this platform, somewhat of a struggle. So I have one item left. So if you are someone who has the mentality of downloading the Poshmark app and reselling with the mentality that you're going to get rich quick, you are someone that's definitely going to struggle. Now, the hard thing about YouTube is that when you search out like reselling platforms, videos that are at the top of the search results are like some of the most successful people. These are people that do it full time. They're raking in $100,000 a year. You might see a video that says, I made $800 or $1,000 in 3 days. Now, the chances are of that being you, not saying that it can't be you, you know, you could be one of those people that is just naturally successful. But chances are, for the majority of us, if you are starting the platform for the very first time, you are not going to bring in $100,000 a year your first year. You probably aren't going to bring in $2,000 your first month. You know, for myself, my first month on the platform, I brought in like $32, and I thought it was like the best thing in the world. I thought I was going to get like one sale. I was happy that I had like a small tiny little handful to get $32. But if you are someone who thinks that they're gonna just download the app, get rich quick, and all your problems are gonna be solved, you will really, really struggle with the platform. There is a lot that goes into it, and keep in mind that Poshmark is continuing to get more popular. And as it continues to get more popular, more resellers are coming onto the platform, which means that there's going to be more competition. So you might be very successful and make so many thousands a month, but that doesn't mean that you will always stay there. There was always going to be new people on the platform, more people to compete with. I definitely feel like this is not a platform to get rich quick. It definitely takes a lot of work. And one thing that I wanted to point out is when you see these other YouTubers that are posting big numbers, they're saying, on my first month on Poshmark, I made $3,000 or something to that extent. But if you really think about it, if you're really watching their videos, you will know that a lot of these people that make these big numbers on Poshmark, their first month or two on Poshmark, they're actually not new to reselling. If you watch a lot of their videos, you will hear them say, oh, I sell on eBay and I transitioned to Poshmark. The reason I think that makes a big difference is that they are not new to reselling. They've already put their time in. They've already done the research and kind of went through the growing pains of what it's like to learn something for the first time, on what it takes to do these tedious tasks, and they already have those muscle memories of being a reseller, of being able to make it a routine to source, being able to make it a routine to list. Those things sound easy, but that takes genuine work. That takes genuine work. So if you're looking for a get rich quick scheme, this is definitely not the platform for you, because for the majority of us, maybe 90% of us, we are not going to be in that top 10% where we're really blowing it out of the water. So in my opinion, if you are someone that's reselling on the app, instead of focusing so much on how big the dollars are, I think you should focus on whether or not the dollars are starting to increase each month. Do you see like an upward scale? Even though it might not be blowing it out of the water, are you seeing that you're progressing? Are you seeing that you're getting more likes, more offers, more frequent sales? If that's the case, then I consider that you're actually being successful. Success doesn't necessarily mean pulling in six figures, you know? That is what I had for my list of personality traits that I feel that would struggle when it comes to Poshmark. Please let me know what you think down below. And if you are interested in more videos, please remember to hit the like button and also subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later.